At home with Power BI. I'm Zahir Brayman from Sigma BI. Today I'm going to show you the issues of removing rows. Now this is part of the ETL process. Now I'm going to show you a few reasons why you do not want to remove rows and how we instead filter them. I'm going to show you by the data source why you would encounter such issues and how to avoid them. Are you ready? Come take a look. Let's go. So we're going to jump straight into this, and I'm going to show you the data source, what it looks like, and what it will look like when we bring it into Power BI. So the first thing we're going to do is, click to the data source. So I'm just going to click to the budget files, connect that up. Then when that comes through, what I'm going to do is just check to see if it's the correct one. Yep, select that. And I'm going to transform the data. So now this is going to go into the Power Query. Okay. So as you can see, it looks pretty nice and tidy. I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to see some null values there. I'm going to think, well, okay, all I need to do is go and remove rows from the bottom, and that will clean it up. But just quickly, just go back to the data source, which is an Excel file, and see why would we have nulls at the bottom. It doesn't really make sense. If there's no values there, why would it happen? So if we just go back into it, and you can see there's a shaded area there. So I understand when people are filling in these spreadsheets, they tend to just do a bit more, so you can start adding on further down the spreadsheet. And there could be other stuff as well, like formulas, that kind of thing, that go beyond the last row with information on it, and it will appear in Power BI as a null value. So this is one of the things where you'd probably see that. Now, what we want to do is, I'm just going to quickly show you this in and remove the bottom rows. So just quickly remove the bottom rows, and we're going to say the bottom 5 rows. Okay, and that will leave 1. Now I'm just going to remove this one again. Now I'm supposed to do 6, but I'm just going to show it this way. So remove the bottom rows, and I'm just going to say number 1. Okay, so on the right hand side I'll say remove the bottom rows twice there, and this is intentional, just to show you. Okay, so now that we've done that, close and apply. So that now is going to go to the desktop and bring that information through. Good. Okay, so now what we want to do is select on the category, and it's going to give us the categories there. So what I'm going to just quickly do is increase the size so we're able to see it. Okay. All right. So if I was updating this spreadsheet, if it was another department that you're requesting information from, that they need to update this spreadsheet every day, so we can then update Power BI with that information. So if we go down back to the budget files, we see at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is use a different category. So I'm just going to use something like cars. Okay, select cars, and I'm just going to put a value in there, 277, and then we'll just put copy the one above. Okay, so we said, right, okay, we're going to put the cars in. I'm going to put this value in, and so we're right. Okay, we're going to press save. Okay, so now our data source is saved with that information, and we're going to go back to Power BI. And we're going to say, right, okay, I've updated that. Now what I want you to do is bring that information through by refreshing. So if I refresh, nothing's come up. There's supposed to be a category there, it's supposed to be cars, and it's not come up. Okay, why? So what I'm going to do is go back to the data source. Scroll down to the bottom and see there's nothing there. Okay, so I'm going to do what we probably usually do is refresh them from here. So if I click refresh, go down to the bottom. I still don't have it. Alright, so do you remember when I removed the bottom rows? I removed that single one. I'm going to use 5 and the single one. So what I'm going to do is go back to the applied steps on the right and remove it. So once I do that now, if I scroll down to the bottom, that's where the cars is. So as you can see, it's there. So it did refresh, but it didn't come through. And the reason why it didn't come through is because we removed the bottom rows. And that's the most important thing about not removing the bottom rows, as information could be lost. And that is, if you in a business where you're relying on these sales and this information isn't coming through and it's business critical, you're going to be creating reports and showing people and your staff incorrect information. So the way to work around this is, if you go back into transform the data, I just thought I'd show you. As you can see, now the categories have been updated with the cars. What I'm going to do now is go back into transform the data. Okay, and what we are going to do is just move all the rows, and then you go to category, and then you select the null. So we're going to say, right, okay, anything there, if it's a null, don't bring it through. Select that, and that will then clear that issue for you. Now, just so we can see this in action, I'm just going to change over to here. I'm just going to delete this information from the data source, and I'm going to save it. Okay, come back here, refresh that data. So that has now got no cars. That's great. So really what we want to do is close and apply. So if we go back now and I just say, okay, cars again, and let's try something else. Let's try a Jeep. Okay, and we just put the information in. Get it off, and then I press save. I'll bring that here, and I will refresh that data. That will then bring me that information on the bottom. So that's quite important. Do not use remove rows from the bottom. There is no need for us to do that. The way to do that is to filter it. So when the data source is updated, when it comes through to Power BI, it will look to see if there is any null values in those fields, and if there isn't, it will populate that. So it's quite important that we get a head around this and why. You might have found this issue as well. You may be doing this and you're kind of like, well, it's not working. This can be one of the troubleshooting processes that you could use as well, and come back into Power Query and find out kind of the applied steps on the right hand side, what you have done, and try and work backwards or work backwards to see where the issue may have caused, and refresh the data as well whilst you're going on. So I hope that made sense. Hope it made clear for you. If you have any questions, just please get in contact. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, guys. At Home with Power BI with me, Zahir Brayman. Learn with us by subscribing to our channel to get updated on our latest videos.